There was movement at the station, for the word had got around that the colt from Old Regret had got away and was worth £1,000. So all the cracks gathered to the fray. G'day, guys. I'm Nathan Googs Fletcher. This is my drunk philosophy. 3 days ago, it was by a certain author considered that the character, the man from Snowy River, was an Aboriginal. Now, for those of you who don't know the poem, it was by Banjo Paterson, A.B. Paterson, famous bush poet in Australia. And if you're an Australian or you're outside of Australia, please look up his works, whether it be Clancy of the Overflow or The Man from Snowy River. They're exceptionally well written. Actually, all of his stuff is exceptionally well written. Now, this is going to be not so much a refutation of that, because the only person who knows if the character that is the Man from Snowy River was Aboriginal is Banjo Paterson, and he's been dead for a very long time. And let's face it, fiction, and it is fiction, is subjective. So you can make a character whatever you want it to be. However, I'm going to take a little bit of a look at Banjo Paterson here. Banjo Paterson was born in New South Wales in the 1850s. So, let's have a look at the way white Australians, or European English Australians at the time, if you like, treated Aboriginal people. Did they treat them fairly? Did they treat them kindly? No. They were fucking racist. By today's standards, they were fucking racist. They looked down upon the Aboriginal people, or they abused the Aboriginal people. This is just fact. And yes, it's a dark stain on our nation, absolutely. No one should ever deny that. However, it is true that in the time that Andrew Banjo Paterson grew up, white people were very racist towards Aboriginals. You will not find any direct references, and believe you me, I've looked in the last couple of days in my research for this video. You don't find too many references to Aboriginal people at all in Banjo Paterson's work. So the fact that he grew up in a racist Australia towards Aboriginals, and I'm not suggesting not towards anyone else, but specifically we're talking about Aboriginals, and the fact that he wrote about the white, if you like, the white experience of Australia from about the late 1880s to about 1910. The likelihood that the Man from Snowy River himself is Aboriginal, very unlikely. Once again, it's subjective. If you want to make him white or black or Asian or whatever, that's up to you. It's a fictional tale. But the thing is, people have made such a big deal out of this, as if it changes the course of Australian history by changing a character in a fictional poem. Man from Snowy River can be black, or a woman, or green, or a fucking alien. Who cares? It's a character. It's up to you what you want to see this character as, because the character's actually not described that well. None of the characters, except for perhaps Clancy the Overflow, is really explained. And Clancy the Overflow, you have to read his stuff, and even the colour of his skin is not named. You see, for those people of that time, the only people that were worth writing about, unfortunately, for a lot of these bush poets, whether it be Paterson or Lawson or whoever else you want to pick, is the white experience of the nation at that time. And it's a sad truth, but it is true. Once again, people of that time, a majority of white people, were completely racist towards the Aboriginal folk. So instead of having a hubbubaloo about this, you go, oh, Aboriginal people have got the Man from Snowy River. Why don't we just all sit down and enjoy the poem? We see the characters as we see them in our minds, and just enjoy a tale of great horse riding to capture back the colt from Old Regret. And let's not quibble over what race this character is, because it could be any race. It could be an alien for all I know. But instead, let's us celebrate, not the racism, but let us instead celebrate this great tale this great work of fiction by A.B. Patterson. I am really coming to my wits' ends with this whole race thing. Because today in 2021, why the hell are we making it important? It's not important anymore. It's not important, the colour of your skin. We've got enough science now to tell us that we're all the same creature. Would you look at a Siamese cat and a Persian cat and say they're not cats, even though they look very different to each other? Of course you wouldn't, because they're both cats. Same goes with us. It's not about being colourblind, it's just about not caring. Because ultimately, we're all the same thing. I'm Nathan Googs Fletcher. This is my drunk philosophy, and I'll catch you down the line. Hooroo, and long may we remember the man from Snowy River's ride.